It's the nation's favourite antiques experts.
Help.
Behind the wheel of a classic car.
Well, hey, hot stuff.
And a goal to scar Britain for antiques.
It's chopping waters out here.
The aim, to make the biggest profit at auction. But it's no mean feat. There'll be worthy winners and valiant losers.
It couldn't go worse, could it?
Will it be the high road to glory?
Oh, I like your style.
Or the slow road to disaster?
Oh, blimey.
Oh, need me to get out and push?
This is Antiques Road Trip. Yeah. This time round, we're going up to Cambridgeshire. A gorgeously low-lying sort of place, which one of our experts knows well.
I frequented the flat Fenlands in my youth. I used to go to outdoor music parties.
We're talking raving here, aren't we?
We are talking raving.
Yeah. That's former Fen dweller and all-night dancer Tamina Gaffar in the passenger seat. And beside her, David Harper. More of a new romantic.
I've never been to a rave.
I'll take you to a rave.
Would you take me to a rave?
Yeah.
As long as I'm home by 9 o'clock, that's fine.
Well, luckily for us, our dealer and YouTuber from Barnard Castle is usually awake during shop hours. And he's also an animal lover.
Isn't he just delicious? Not pug ugly, pug beautiful.
While Londoner Tamina, founder of her college drum and bass society, is a South Asian and Islamic art doyenne.
Peacocks are considered lucky in countries like India and Sri Lanka.
Although neither was particularly flush at their last trip to auction.
It's straight in at £30, thank you. I'll take two now.
Go on.
Last chance forever at £50.
It's cheered you up at no end, hasn't
I know
it?
that has, actually.
Notwithstanding, David currently leads 2-0 in our best of 5. Although our newbie is unlikely to be discouraged one jot.
I've still got a chance. There's another 3 to go. It'll be a nice underdog story.
It's your first trip, Tamina. I mean, you probably won't be invited back.
David! After journeying around the north of England, they're now headed south in their Datsun 280 ZX. And they'll soon be pointing it way out west.
Have you ever been to Glastonbury?
I have, many times. Should we go to a festival one day, David?
No.
No? Oh.
No.
I can come! The very important middle bit of their jaunt starts out in the Cambridgeshire town of Whittlesea. At this delightful retail establishment, described as a little shop of antiquities, oddities and collectibles. And with their funds topped up to £200 once again, they can now dream anew. No more pooches for a while, though, eh, David?
Now, I picked this up because it looks like it could be Indian. This crescent-shaped bowl is what's called a kashgal, or a beggar's bowl. It's effectively a collection plate, but travelling dervishes, the Sufis, would go around performing and dancing and saying prayers, and they would hold one of these, usually attached to something or held in the hand, and that's where people would give their alms and donations.
Kashkul is a Persian word which means make full.
Traditionally, Indian silver would be hand-etched and marked using very thin implements to create very detailed patterning. This one is unusual in that it looks to be stamped with an implement, sort of rectangular-shaped marks to create a background. It's priced at £175, and that is most of my money, so I think I won't be taking a chance on this one.
Understood. Lots more to see after all.
I've got to say, this is a brilliant shop. The stuff is so very different. And talking of different West African mask, the problem being with these things is dating them accurately, because Africans have been carving these magnificent masks for centuries, and they're still doing them today. And there's so much significance going on here.
Senufo from the Ivory Coast or Mali.
They were meant to house the spirits. So spirits of the ancestors, and also the spirit of the tree. I mean, they are just mind-bogglingly beautiful. And you can see where very many 20th century artists took so much inspiration from this tribal art. It's priced at $2.50. It's too much for me, but I really do admire it.
That pair have expensive tastes today. They may need to lower their sights a notch or two. Chris will be the man to do a deal with.
Oh, you know, I could have done with this the other day. I was travelling on a train and it was ram-packed with no air conditioning. I could have used this little antique.
Yeah, a Victorian vinaigrette to banish foul odours.
So you'd open up the grill and inside you would drop a substance that smelt nice. And these things were used for well-to-do travellers. It stinks to high heaven. You put the windows up of the carriage, you open your vinaigrette and you stick it up your nostrils. And you keep breathing in that lovely perfumed aroma until you exit the horrible end of town into the country air.
It can be very pongy there as well, mark you.
It's solid silver and it's monogrammed with what, my gosh, is that DH?
Has his name on it.
David Harbour. You open it up and it's gilded so you can see that gold plating on top of the real silver. And we've got Queen Victoria's head, so 1837 to maybe 1850. It is absolutely delicious. I love it. Priced at £54. I've got to buy it.
One in the old bag. And keep rummaging.
People frame all sorts of things that are valuable, but also things that they just want to see displayed and interesting to them. Ah, this is from Tottenham. This is where I live now.
Curiosity piqued.
This looks like a series of certificates from the Civil Defence Service. Now, that was a World War II domestic service that was also called the Air Raid Precautions Department. This one seems to show a specific individual and his time in service and the training he received. He's had an anti-gas course, senior officers course, a decontamination course. Clearly this was a source of pride for him. And we have a map here which specifically shows where I live, which is somewhere over there.
Data protection, please.
It also shows all of the air raid shelters at the time. Tottenham was a very industrial area, and because of this, it was an obvious target for bombings.
The borough was hit during the first air raids of the war in August 1940. And it looks like there might be more history waiting to be unearthed.
And this is another collection of personal war documents, and the surname matches the insurance document that I saw on this item. There's also an address, which is in Islington, not too far from Tottenham. And that seems to be the same address which suffered the blast in this insurance claim. And together, they show a chronology of a family impacted by bombing in London. I think these two items would go really nicely together at auction.
No prices displayed, however.
I'm going to have a chat with Chris and see what he can do for me.
She's made up her mind, all right.
Chris, hi.
Hello.
I've found something really interesting. And I think this is connected in some way to this, and it'd be really nice to keep them both together. What can you do for me if I buy both of them?
Well, we've got 70 on this one, and we've got 30 on this one. And you need to beat David, really, so
Absolutely.
How about if I do the both for you, 50 quid?
That would be brilliant.
Good.
Shake on it.
Half price. 150 left.
Thank you.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.
Now, any more for David? Already his wee vinaigrette reserved, of course.
Oh, bit of a charm bracelet. Now, are charm bracelets charming? I've never been overly excited with charm bracelets, but you've got to examine them pretty closely. So let's have a look. Oh, that is quality. Featuring one of my all-time heroes from British history, Lord Nelson. There he is, looking resplendent in his uniform. And look at this. It's a duncer's hat with movable legs. Now that's very good quality. Let's see if there's anything else as good. Oh, look at that. The fish with a moving tail.
A piranha, possibly. £68.
Now, who would buy such a thing? Well, there are people who collect these charm bracelets. But I would suggest that the little novelty charms themselves are good enough to separate. You could sell them all individually. So I think it's got the weight, it's got the quality. I'll go and see if I can do a deal.
Here we go.
Hey, Chris. Really lovely thing. £54 on it. What's the absolute best for me?
How does 40 sound?
40's great. Right, OK. Not exactly bang on trend these days.
Indeed.
So priced at 68. Could it be scrap weight?
I can do that for you for 55.
Perfect.
95 in total,
Thank you.
with 105 left.
Hello, you.
Hello.
What have you got then?
I have some really nice social history.
So if I just put them on there and we'll go in this direction.
Charming. They'll be getting back to the business of shopping a little bit later, but right now it's time to be gone fishing on Britain's 10th longest river. Navigable for most of its 105 miles and very slow moving. The Nene was for many years an important transport route. But our pair have an appointment at Ferry Meadows, where the lakes are mostly used for leisure purposes, especially coarse fishing. But the bream, tench, pike, carp and rudd need help. Rob Harris is your man.
So over the years, we've had a lot of problems with maintaining the fish population due to a variety of factors, whether they're environmental or predation from predators such as birds and otters. So we're working on habitat improvement projects, things such as felling trees into the water to provide habitat or cages that fish can hide away in, to improve the wider stability of the park and hopefully improve the whole ecology.
That beauty looks completely natural, but
Yeah.
You're saying that takes a lot of work.
It does. We try and maintain the natural balance. We work really closely with the Nene Park Trust, whose park we're in today, to maintain the natural look of the park. But sometimes it just needs a little bit of an unnatural leg up, really.
One of those predators, of course, was man, although Rob, the chair of the local angling association, is keen to emphasise that thanks to catching and releasing, and the money raised by rod licences, recreational fishing can actually help.
As you can see, this is quite secure. If a fish is being chased by a mammal or a bird, they can dive through those gaps, hide away in some of this fantastic weed in the edge here,
Yeah.
and the poor old bird's stuck out there.
Would you believe that the fish would know this was a safe haven? Would they congregate around it for safety?
Absolutely. Right time of year, you will see millions of fish in these kinds of habitats, and they know automatically to come into the edges, into the cover. So all of this just increases the overall kind of robustness and the ecology of this whole environment.
The early indications are that the project has been a success and that those simple measures are already having an effect. But having heard that coarse fishing can be very therapeutic for humans too, Tamina and David are now about to try the sport for themselves.
Essentially what we've got here is line on a stick. So this is known as a whip, because you whip it out and catch fish. We've got some line on the end, a lovely little float here. So we're looking for some activity on the float. Yeah, you see them kind of nibbling around. And when it kind of stays under and glides away, you should be able to kind of see when it's really on.
And what do I do when that happens?
The fish don't need to worry.
So we're sat here looking at the floats. A lot of people might think that's boring.
A very good friend of mine told me that the fishing is actually the gateway to the British Isles. It's just a wonderful way to sit in nature. You know, there's wonderful fishing from one end of this country to the other, and you're staring at all kinds of wildlife.
Is it good for mental health?
Oh, incredibly, yes. You know, we're very keen on the benefits of angling for mental health. For some people, it's to get away and not see the rest of the world. For many others, it's a way to go fishing with your friends. There you go. Oh, hey! And we've caught our first fish of the day.
Beautiful.
What fish is this?
That is a little rudd. Now, you can tell it's a rudd because a rudd has an upturned lip. It's a surface feeder, so its mouth is turned upwards to feed on kind of insects on the surface.
Right.
Silver scales, red fins, beautiful little fish.
How long can it survive out of the water?
Obviously, we keep them out for as short a time as possible, but you can keep them out for a little while. And if we drop him right in the edgelet, gone in a second.
What sort of kit do you need to start fishing?
You can see what we've got today. This is the basics of how to go fishing. Things such as this from various brands can be as cheap as under £10. Lift. Oh, she's got another one. This is turning into a bit of a one-sided competition.
It really is.
Good job David's winning on auctions at least. We wouldn't want his self-esteem dented, would we?
This might be a thing for me. I'm quite enjoying it.
Well, sadly, it's time to put away the poles and pack the tackle. Not that the aquatic chap needs to halt, of course.
I bought a fish tank recently.
What kind of fish are they?
So I have some guppies
Yeah.
and some neon tetrafish.
Right.
And I also have some Siamese fighting fish.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice
see-
to have them in the home.
Nighty-night. Next day, their Japanese car is the fascinating topic of conversation.
Tamina, would you like me to be very interesting?
I mean, it would be a first.
So this is the 280ZX. The first of this model was called a 240Z. But in Japan, they're called Fair Ladies.
Who was that?
It was because the chief executive in the early 1960s went to see My Fair Lady.
Oh, you
On a-
are font of knowledge.
Let's not get carried away, eh? Yesterday, although they could hardly be accused of doing little, they mostly kept their powder dry, with Tamina only acquiring some London civil defence documents.
We have a map here, shows where I live, which is somewhere over there.
Meaning she still has £150 available for today's purchases. While David bought 2 items, a silver charm bracelet and a Victorian vinaigrette.
You stick it up your nostrils and you keep breathing in.
Leaving 105 for any showstoppers discovered today.
Are you a big theatre fan then, David?
I'm going to be embarrassed by admitting I'm not. What about you? Do you like the theatre?
Ideally not anything too long. I tend to fall asleep.
Yeah, me too.
I went to see King Lear and I woke up and everyone was dead.
Oh, really?
Bit of a plot spoiler. Sorry. They're just about to lift the curtain on Act 2 of their little drama. And the town of Northampton marks the spot. Birthplace of many a famous actor over the years, including Doctor Who number 11, Matt Smith. And Click Antiques and Vintage will be hosting a David one-man show, having already dropped his co-star off elsewhere. So, with the place to himself and £105 in his pocket, what exactly will tickle his fancy?
Oh, hello. Bit of a vintage one. 1950s, 1960s. Now, I haven't been in a barber's chair for a very long time, and I think it's overrated.
I wonder why. Any price cutting will be down to Nick, by the way.
Oh, good old English furniture, don't you just love it? Now, it looks like a chest of drawers. Very much like a chest of drawers.
It's not, though.
But before I show you what it is, let me tell you why I love it. 1850, 1860, something like that. Original feet, original handles, great colour, unrestored. Now let's open the chest of drawers up and let me give you the shock of your life. Oh,
Ta-da!
look at that craftsmanship. It was made specifically for a bedroom, and this is what it is. It is a very grand, very posh sit-down loo before the invention of in-house toilets. Isn't that just absolutely delicious?
Wash your hands first. It's also £125.
But it's not leaving with me.
So that's 2 seats of various sorts rejected.
Good-looking thing, so described as very old Eastern Light globe. And I can see where they're coming from, but I think it's not very old. It's actually very new in the scale of things. In the world of antiques, very new is something that was made in 1970. And I think that's what this is. And it's not very Eastern, it's very Western. It's got a real Scandinavian kind of feel about it. Very stylish. You've got this patinated copper, and then you can see the glass little windows, almost like portholes. It's a light fitting. Could be a pendant that would hang from a ceiling. But I think it could also be a table light. You could pop a little tea light in there, couldn't you?
Ticket price, £20, by the way.
and such good quality. If you look inside, if you want to be really pedantic about this, there are some cracks to the glass at 20 quid. Very, very forgiving indeed, because why wouldn't you have that at home?
Yeah, quite. He seems happy. And now for the next potentially antique acquiring venue, because Tahmina's chance to shop solo is in Yaxley. At Brook Antiques and Collectibles. All 2,000 square feet of it, or just over 185 metres. With 150 still in hand.
Now, this is a nice sort of Art Deco styled ribbon holder. This one looks to have a shop name on it, Sports Outfitters. And these would have been used to package purchases. This would have wrapped around the goods, either wrapped in paper or tissue, and had the name of the retailer. But from the typography on the ribbon, it may be much more modern. So I don't quite think this is the antique that I've been looking for. I'm going to leave that there.
Customer's prerogative, as I'm sure that Marcus would concur.
Cricco, an adaptation of cricket for playing indoors on any table.
A game of skill, amusing and exciting. Any number can play. Look at the mini wickets.
Quite big, actually.
What are these? Oh, this is how you, like, hit sixes. This is quite cool. That is £45. I think probably like 1940s, 1930s.
Still intact, with box.
Not a game of chance, but requires skill and provides as much exercise as is usually desired with an indoor game. To get a complete game with instructions and all the elements, I think would be really attractive to a collector. This definitely has some potential. I'm going to have a look around and see if there's anything else I can find.
No decoration just yet, then. Although they do rather specialise in games and fun around here.
This one is £249. His name's Charlie McCarthy. But these are less creepy than the ventriloquist dummy. These seem to be little painted clowns or jesters. I think these are maybe French. Apparently, the origin of Skittles was Dutch seafarers who probably played it on deck. And it was really popular in England in the 1500s and 1600s. Henry VIII was apparently such a big fan that he had his own Skittle aisle in his house. And Skittles were the precursor for the 9-pin bowling game as we know it now.
Whether they invented it or not, this 1660s painting proves that the game was certainly a suitable subject for the Dutch.
Each of the different pins has a different expression, like the variants you'd get if someone painted something by hand. There's some wear on them. They look like they've been well played with, as you would hope. Now, it's priced at £45. I think it could just about make that at auction.
She's gone full ball game, it seems.
Hi, Marcus.
Hi.
I found two really lovely, playful things. Now, I saw some ticket prices, and I'm hoping that they're not Tamina prices. And so this was priced at 45. This was also 45.
Yeah, if you do decide to go for both, I'll do them at 35 each, so a total of 70.
Yeah,
Happy?
perfect. Thank you so much.
Marcus is willing. She still has £80 to spend as well. But let's return to Northampton, where David's also keen to acquire at least one item, and he already has this little Scandi lampshade set aside.
Ooh, that is a nice basket. I like that basket. Oh, that's a Chinese basket.
Yep, for wedding gifts.
It's made from bamboo, nice metal work. It's got a lovely patination. It's got some lacquer there. It's hand painted, and it's definitely dripping with age. So this is Qing dynasty. The Qing dynasty came after the Ming dynasty, started in 1644 and ended in 1912. So it's depicting lovely floral scenes here, a figure painted on the top. Look at that inscription. That is a lovely private note to the wedding couple from the giver, wishing them long life and prosperity. Handwritten greetings. Isn't that just delightful? Priced at 30 quid. I think it's one that I would like to buy.
Righty-ho.
Hello, Nick.
Hi, David.
Good to see you.
And you?
Right, one funky lamp, priced at 20 quid. That's fine, let me have that.
Good.
Second object, the Chinese wedding basket.
We've got £30 on it.
Yeah.
25, do you?
25 is perfect. OK,
Excellent.
good man, I'll have those. Thank you very much.
Heading up to 45.
I'm sure you'll do well with them.
I think I will. Nice to see you. Cheers. Bye.
£60 left over. But meanwhile, further along the delightful River Nene, or Nen, as they call it hereabouts, in the market town of Wellingborough, Tamina has reached her last shop of the day. Old and quirky, they call it. With very good reason. And our intrepid expert will be looking to acquire exactly that sort of thing, with some or all of the £80 she still has in hand. What a player, eh?
This is marked as a blacksmith sample finial. Now, a wrought iron finial like this, I could see flanking either side of a Georgian townhouse. There's a very distinctive fleur-de-lis pattern here. A blacksmith would have had this inside their workshop to showcase what they were capable of making. That's why it's on this rather lovely wooden plinth. Now, whilst this looks to have some age to it, it's hard to be sure which side of the Second World War it would have been.
Because in the early 40s, the government requested that railings be taken down to make arms, although there's very little evidence that they actually were recycled.
It's a very decorative item, and I think someone would really like to have that in their home, particularly if someone has a sort of Gothic style to their interior. Now, it's priced at £45. I think if I could get it down just a little bit, it might be something I can make a profit on.
Not just any old iron. Ah, look who's here, doing his bit for nominative determinism. Hasn't got quite as much cash as his chum, of course. Ouch!
That is a candle box. Now, you might be thinking that candle boxes are very boring. Well, let me tell you, this one is particularly exciting because it's Georgian, my favourite period. I can tell it's Georgian because of the shape of it and the fact that it's mahogany. The Georgians loved it if you could afford it, but more than anything else, they loved shells during the Georgian period.
Requires shelling out £390, though. He has 60.
So why would somebody spend so much money on a box that held candles? Well, candles back then were vitally important things. These things sustained life, literally. And you had to keep the candles safe and particularly dry. And so a candle box hung on the wall, maybe close to a fireplace, was a vital piece of household equipment. So that's how important candles were. And that's why that box is such good quality. Too much for me, but great pleasure and delight.
Quite. Sarah will be the person to actually buy things from, though, such as Tamina's Finial, for example. And while David does a quick bit of boning up on their route, she's still in search of one more purchase.
This is a Victorian spittoon. Well, spittoons aren't very widely used anymore, but they were popular when chewing tobacco was used more prevalently. And another name for a spittoon is a cuspidor, which is what we call the sink you spit into at the dentist's. Now, that comes from the Latin word cum spuere, which is where we get the word spew.
Thanks for that.
This has a very deep, dark glaze to it, which is called a treacle glaze. These were quite popular in the Victorian era, but also later on in the sort of mid-century period as well. I think this would make a really lovely centrepiece.
Really?
You could use it for flower arranging or in the garden. Now, it's priced at £45. And it is in relatively good condition, though there is a little chip on it. But I might be able to get some money off it. I'm going to grab this and the Finial and see what they might be able to do for me on them.
Well, OK then.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
Now, I've got two items. They're both £45. Now, I don't quite have that much. Could you do me a deal on both of them?
I can do £30 on that.
Yeah.
And how about £30 on that?
That would be great.
£60 in total, with 20 left.
Yeah.
Got to beat David.
Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And speaking of the David,
Oh, very good for gardens. Oh, link back.
steady.
Right. Great Western Railway Finial. That's exactly what they are. So think steam trains. When the train driver went past a signal, the signal would tell him what to do. But this being the height of the Industrial Revolution, the tops of the signals would be decorated with cast iron finials, just like these two.
Popular today, aren't they?
And that one actually has Great Central Railway. So we've got Great Western Railway and Great Central Railway. To me, they're works of art, actually. And anybody who's interested in the world of trains and train history would love these things. Put them in your garden.
Beside your spittoon, perhaps?
Priced at £70 the pair, no money. And I think in auction, these will make £100 to £200 for the pair. So I'm going to attempt to carry them and take them to auction. Right.
Take care now.
Here we go. Go on, you two. Let's go. Wish me luck. Oh!
Lordy, doesn't it actually have £70, of course?
Sarah.
Hello.
I've got two of the heaviest objects in your shop.
They are beautiful.
Right, so priced at 70 for the pair. Now, I've got to tell you, I've got £60 left. That's all the money I have in the world. That is it. My pockets are empty.
Seems it's you.
Yes.
60 quid.
Thanks, Sarah. Every single penny spent. Great.
Oh, don't worry, Tamina, I'll be all right.
What do you have there?
Hello, big pair of finials.
Oh, I've got a finial too.
Oh, you've got a little finial.
But it's not always about size, David.
It is always about the size. Can I
Okay.
carry your finial?
I don't think you need to carry my finial.
Exactly. I do worry about the Datsun's back axle, though.
Come on, David.
Come on, then.
Keep up.
Quite a day, eh? Time to get ready for the auction now.
Which is your favourite purchase?
I did get a boxed tabletop cricket game, which looks really good. Problem is, I don't know how good. 'Cause
Right.
I've got no one to play it with.
Well, you've got me.
Would you like to try it out?
I would like to try that.
Shall we?
That's their plans for the evening sorted. Shut eye, please. It's auction time in Morley once again. You could say even more Morley. Fresh from their Fenland and Midland shopping, they brought it all back to the West Riding at Morley Auctioneers, where they'll also be selling on the net and on the phone, with Bernie Neal, the gaveler in chief.
All done at 100.
Tamina, I can feel the determination.
What, from me?
Yes.
It's winning spirit. What can I say, David?
Winning spirit will give it a bit of oomph then.
Well, you might need some of my winning spirit at this rate.
You can never have too much. Tamina spent £180 on 5 sale room lots. But which one has bowled over our auctioneer?
My favourite lot is probably the Creco game. In the original box, in great condition. I think it should do well at auction.
David splashed out the whole £200 for his 5. Bernie?
There's two I like. It's the Victorian vinaigrette. Lovely detailing on it, very collectible. And it's the two railway finials. Great railway buffs up here. I think they'll do very well.
Take your seats, please.
Is there anything more
Right.
exciting than an auction?
I know.
I hope I do better than I did.
Well, our fingers are firmly crossed. I'll let her introduce the first item.
Spittoon? Yeah.
That's what
So-
I think about it.
Where should we be? £30 for your spittoon and a £30 for it. £30 for your spittoon then,
I might be
surely.
completely wrong here.
£20 for your spittoon.
I don't think you are.
£10 for the spittoon then. In the room at £10. You,
Oh, he needs he needs to have a spit.
you need
Thank
it.
you.
I'll take 12 now. £10 bid. £10, your bid, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Not a result to drool over. Yuck. David's turn is Chinese wedding basket.
Fascinating object, the kind of thing that you would fill with lovely gifts and take to the wedding and hand it to the happy couple. And it should make a profit.
It should.
We've only got £30 bid on it.
There you go.
Come on.
32.5.
Better,
35,
better.
£40 bid now. £40 bid, I'll take 2 from anybody else.
Go on.
Here's your only advance on £40. Should be more, really.
Should be.
I'll take 2 more, quickly. All done this time, then, at £40.
It is a profit.
Well done.
Yes, it's the very best way to start.
I like that a lot, actually. I'm a little bit annoyed that you found it.
Tamina again, her London local history collection, but sold in Yorkshire.
Now I've got a little bit of a risky one.
Oh, go on, what have
Bit
you
of
got?
Human interest.
Yes.
Civil Defence Service certificates,
Right, yes.
photographs, and it's from the bit of North London that I'm from as well.
No.
You did say buy what you love.
Yes.
Yeah.
You love yourself.
Yeah, I guess so.
Where should be £50 for them? Nicely framed there for you, £50. £40 to go then.
If it's signed by Winston Churchill, you might be in luck.
Well, if it was signed by Winston Churchill, I wouldn't be worried at all.
£20 to go there.
No one else in London?
For nothing at £20. Where are we
They're
going?
not here today, are they?
You're in Leeds.
£10. Literally interested,
dear.
£10.
Oh.
Pity
A
bits,
fiver.
come on.
Come on. Thank you, Internet. Five is finally bid at £5. Do I take 6? 8?
Oh, you
£8.
seem surprised.
Make it double figures, come on. Thank you. 10 is bid now.
Oh, it's
£10.
flying away.
Every time you say that, it stops going.
I know, that's why I do
Stop
it.
jinxing it.
Is that it?
I think
Is that
so.
it? Exactly.
I think that's it.
I think it's very disappointing.
Disappointing for some.
That's it. Keep smiling, girl. It didn't pay off, but so what? Good try.
I like people to take a chance. I don't know anyone who's made a lot of money that hasn't taken chances throughout their lives.
That's part of the game, isn't it?
It is, so well done you.
This one should be a bit of a safer bet. David Scandi lampshade.
Do you like a little bit of brutalism?
Oh, I do.
You do, I thought you
I
did.
do.
Okay. This is a brutalist lamp. Scandinavian design, so it could double its money. If it was in mint condition, I think it's a couple of £100.
Oh.
It's got a slight little bit of damage to the interior.
Don't mention
The
that.
exterior is lovely. We're at £30 on commission.
Go on.
And I'll take 2 Internet.
Someone else likes it too.
It's brutalist.
I'll take 5.
Be brutal.
I'll take 5 quickly. Internet. It's a £32 only
Go
bid.
on.
Hammers up then at 32.
It's all right, it's a profit.
Yeah,
It's profit, Tamina.
His second of the day. They all count.
It's a tickle.
It's a tickle. You do like a tickle.
I do like a tickle.
I'm sure Tamina would much rather score half a century. But can her board game supply it?
Will it make money?
I think if there's some like proper collectors out
Yeah.
there, see it. Yeah.
What if there isn't any?
Then I make a loss, don't I? That's how it works.
It's true.
£30 then. £30 for the tabletop game then for £30. 25 quickly.
I
25
think it
for it.
might do well.
I'll do 20. Madam, thank you.
Absolutely. Yay!
At £20. I'll take 2 now. Ladies bid at £20. Any advance on 20 then?
Oh, that's a shame.
Ladies bid, madam, thank you.
I thought it could have done better.
I think
do.
it should have done better.
Exactly. Where were all those collectors?
Well
Shame.
found.
Thank you.
David's shiny selection is next.
Do you like silver charm bracelets?
Do
Do you?
They're really fashionable now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, I'm in luck then, because I bought one. Would you wear one?
I would.
You would?
Yeah, I would.
We've got £40 bid. I'll take 42 now.
Come on.
Anybody coming in at £45 then, surely?
See, this is sort of
45
like
back in on the
scrappish, isn't it?
showroom, £45
Yeah.
bid.
Yeah. They're ruthless, the silver buyers, aren't
At £50 bid, I'll take 5. 55 bid.
Oh.
At £55 asking at 60 then.
they? Go on.
Come on, press bid. I'll be done at 55. 60.
It's a tickle.
65. At £65 now looking for 70.
Go on.
Let's have one more bid, surely. Come on. At 65 this time.
I've
well done,
just
you.
scraped through, haven't I?
Yeah, that
just.
was
He's leading a charmed life today.
Good thing, though.
good. It was nice.
Yeah.
Who fancies a finial, then? Tamina's cast iron one now.
It's pretty, it's well made, it's decorative.
Would it be a piece of sculpture?
I think so. It would
Right.
be nice in a garden, on a
Okay.
desktop or something like that. It's a pretty thing.
How odd.
It is odd.
I like odd.
£30, surely. Give me £30 for that. Start me at 20 then.
Oh dear, we're starting a bit low
It
though.
will easily make that.
It should.
15 to go then.
I'm not doing so well, am I, David?
£10, people, come on.
Oh,
Where should we go? £10. Thank you. We've got a tenner.
Yay.
We have a £10 note. Well done. Is that it? At
Is
£10.
that it?
Nobody? Tears everywhere at £10.
Bad luck, but I think that was a good find.
Exactly. Nice encouragement.
There's nothing wrong with the purchase, nothing wrong with the thing.
The final countdown continues. David's offerings as enthused over by the auctioneer.
If they don't make profit, the world has gone bonkers.
Oh, we've already said the world's gone bonkers. haven't
Well, the
we?
world has gone
Yeah.
bonkers, but it's gone even more bonkers.
We're in at £100 straight off at £100 bid, £100
Come on.
bid.
Oh, dear.
I'd take 110.
Come on.
Is that it? £100?
No.
I'm
That's
sure.
enough, David.
There's too
Surely,
many lot there.
stop.
Should be getting double this, people, really.
Come on.
They are for sale at £100.
Come on, room.
All done at 100.
Good going, David.
I did think they were going to take off, though.
Never mind. The streak continues.
Maybe I balled them up too much.
I've been guilty of that too.
More Tamina games now. Her last lot.
We could either get a little bit more
Or a little bit less.
or a lot less.
OK.
Yeah.
A tickle or a slap?
£20 for them, bit of fun. Come on, start me at £20.
Oh, dear.
£15. They've got to go. Tenner then.
Oh, dear.
They're just not here today, are they?
dear.
There we go. 10 is bid. I should think so. I'll take 12.
I went a bit punchy, didn't I?
£10 only then.
I think they're going to bomb.
£10.
What have I done? I'm just going to pay less for more.
That could work. If only it were that simple.
They were just such lovely little things.
David's final offering, his Victorian vinaigrette.
This is the best object I've bought
Wow.
so far on
Okay.
this whole journey. It is delicious.
We're in at £65 bid.
Get in there.
wow,
At
there you
£65,
go.
£70 bid now. At £70 bid, I'll take 5.
Go on.
At £70, I'll take 5 quickly. 85 jumped up to 85.
Brilliant.
At £85, take 90 now.
It's so nice when something makes what it should be worth.
All done at 85.
I'm very happy with that.
No wonder. 5 out of 5 for him.
It's just a lovely thing.
It was very nice. Well done.
Thank you.
Adding up time now, and Tamina, after auction costs, made a whopping great loss of £139.80p, but not so much if you say it quickly. While David, also with sale room fees deducted, made a profit of £55.04. So he is once again the winner and takes an unassailable 3-0 lead in the best of 5. All profits at the end of the trip to children in need.
Look, Tamina, I'm trying to lose.
Are you? You're not trying hard enough.
What
really.
else can I do for you?
Not turn up?
I will try harder next time, right?
Next time, Tamina and David's bond continues to blossom.
This is my attempt to stop you talking.
Tamina finds a new friend.
She breathes.
And David is less than supportive.
It won't, honey.